Okay, guys, so for you guys that possibly watch the other channel, if you don't, then the other channel is a Greg Tube vlog and travel, I believe. So anytime I kind of go out or do a vlog or whatever, I kind of put it out over on that page just because I wanted to separate, the two channels. The other channel is fairly new and doesn't get a whole lot of content because you know what? How often do I really travel? Not as often as I'd like, but you know what? It's all good. Yeah, on that channel, I actually showed these new handlebars. See them? Yes, new handlebars getting installed. And my little tire says it's cold. Yeah, it's cold. So I probably should, once I get to, unless they warm up, once I get to my stop, I should see if I can possibly put some air in them just to get them a little harder because they're probably a little low right now. Anyways, I got these bars installed, and these are the Tab Performance. They are the Prism bars. So, and this is on my 2020 RoadMaster. So, I was all over the place trying to figure out what bars I wanted and where I wanted to get them from and how high I wanted them and all that fun stuff, the stuff that you kind of need to figure out before you order them, because let's be honest, handlebars on a motorcycle, unless you're a mechanic, is a pretty steep investment, really, but it changes the way your bike feels, it changes the way your bike handles, it changes the way, you as a rider, like how long you can ride for before starting to get sore, things like that. So all kinds of important things for you and I as riders to kind of just be aware of. And so I'll give you, for instance, these handlebars come in at $500. I think they're 500 Canadian. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 500 Canadian, and maybe 500 US. I put it on my credit card, and I really wasn't paying attention because I just wanted them. Now, the other thing to be aware of, if you're in Canada, you'll probably get hit with import and duty fees. So, for these, it was $156, 156 Canadian dollars for a duty and import. So, that also, I wasn't necessarily expecting. I expected to get some, but I definitely did not expect to have that much. But I did. So be it. So right there, we're at, what is that? $500, $600, $650. Then, because I'm not going to install them, because number one, I don't have the tools. Number two is that I don't want to, right? Because after watching, I took it in to get it installed. After watching them install it, which took 4.5 hours, somewhere in that range, probably 4.5 hours. I was like, yeah, that would have taken me all day, and there's a really good chance that I wouldn't have even finished in that day, because there was two of them. They had all the tools that they needed, and of course they've installed handlebars before, so they kind of knew what they were doing, right? So 4.5 hours for me, probably 4.5 days, because I'll be the first to admit that's not my specialty. Nope, not by any means. So we tacked on another 500 and change, so say 550. So we're at 650 plus, so that's like $1,200, right? So if you're buying handlebars and you're spending $1,200 to get them installed, and you realize, no, then that's sad, right? That's sad. Anyways, these are fantastic. But now that's, just be aware, that's fantastic for me, because I like the height. I am 6'1", just so you guys know. I would say my torso, I always kind of say this in these videos, my torso is a little longer than maybe the standard person that's 6 foot, so I have, not short legs, but I get a lot more of my height in my torso than I do in my legs. So when I sit like this, of course, I'm fairly tall. Now, two things that's beneficial for. Number one is I have this windshield, which I also got from Tab Performance. That's the Clockworks, and it's the 14-inch, I believe it is, screen, which is fantastic. If you see right at low, she's down. It's probably really windy now, but I can see over top of it, no issues. And at full up, right, all of a sudden all the wind goes away. I can still see over top of it, which is great, but I can also duck down and see through it if I want. Plus, because the Indian has a movable windshield, I can kind of get it exactly where I need it, and that wind blows over top. Now, same thing with these. I was all over trying to figure out, of course, you know, what handlebars or which of the prison bars were going to be the right height for me, because they measure them a little different, right? I think these are called an 8-inch bar, so it has a pullback of, I can't remember. It's the tallest one that they make, right, for the prison bars for the Indian. And I watched a few videos, and pretty much every video that I watched, they showed them on a Pursuit, a Challenger or a Pursuit. So I was like, I don't know if that's because they're a little bit different bike, so I wasn't 100% sure if, you know, I was going to get bars that were going to be too tall, or, you know, I didn't want them up here, right? That's not what I wanted. I just wanted them in a nice, comfortable position. So I watched a couple videos, and there was one guy, he was like 6'2", I think it was, and he was like, yeah, he has the high ones, the 8-inch. I think they're 8-inch, and he loved them. I was like, okay. And then I watched a guy, I think he was 5'8", and he was like, yeah, I love them. And I have the 8-inch bars, or whatever these ones are, right? I'll put a screenshot of the bars that I want, and I'll put a link to them down below if you guys are interested. And I was like, okay, so if a 5'8" guy can use them, of course it's going to be a bit higher on him, but he's comfortable with that. Last thing I wanted is to get bars that were only a little bit higher than my existing bars. I wanted to have them up, right? I wanted to have my arms so that they could bend, but I wanted to have them up because one of the biggest issues I have with the stock bars, and this is pretty much all stock bars, is when my hands are down here, which is where they normally are, I get a lot of tension in my shoulder. It's actually my shoulder blade, and it's just because my arms are down, like they're down like this all the time, and that's no good. So if you're riding like for an hour or two, not a big issue, but like when I went to Sturgis this past summer, you know, 24 days of riding and long days, right? You're on the bike for 8+ hours a day. It took a toll. It really did take a toll on my shoulder. 100% it did. So that was something that I was like, man, I sure do wish I could have better bars. Better bars would be fantastic. These, I have to say, I don't think I could have asked for them to be in a better spot, you know, again, for me. Now, the one thing just to kind of be aware of when you're using these is that if you do have like a Clockworks or anything like that, you can't get them pushed like all the way up. I had to actually have them lean back a little bit, which actually was good for me. I actually like them lean back because I wanted them a little bit closer, because as you can see, my arms are nice and bent where they are. When they were all the way up, my hands were up about here, so they still bending, but not quite as much of a bend as I wanted. But the big issue was that when the bars were all the way up, my windshield was actually rubbing up against it. It would actually touch it all the time when it went down, so it would rub against, I don't know, the mirror or the where the brake fluid or whatever it is in there. So I had to pull them back. But they're in a perfect position. I love them. And because I have a white Dark Horse, which has a lot of chrome on it and black, in fact, I got these in black, and I think it looks super sharp. I really do. I think it looks super sharp. The other thing I really noticed, and again, I think it's really important for when you're riding, is that, like for me, when you're trying to do low speed turns, like low maneuvers, like parking lot turns, or getting in and out of your driveway or stuff like that, the fact that I can get myself up on my seat like this and my handlebars are like way up here, when I'm turning the bars around like so, it is like night and day difference, like how much maneuverability I feel I have on the bike, right? And even just riding like now, like I feel like the bike just wants to just turn all over the place, because it's just, I don't know, because it's up higher than down here, you feel like you can give it a way nicer push into the actual handlebars, which makes, of course, your bike react way nicer. Like, it's so much nicer. Yeah, these are fantastic. Now, when I talked to the guys, so the company that I had put them on is a company in Riverview, New Brunswick, which is basically Moncton area, and they're called Outlaw Rides, and they're primarily a Harley place. So they sell like used Harleys, and they sell, or they do like custom work and work on Harleys and that. But I asked them like what these were like, and they were like, yeah, they're like a meat hook style, so everything went on great. The only issue they had, which is pretty much all meat hook bars, right, is just kind of getting the cabling through here. Now, the other thing that I was a little concerned about, and again, nobody really wants to talk about it, it was like, I sure hope I don't need to get any kind of cable extension. And the cables that go through the bars, again, no issues at all. No issues. All this control stuff hooked in beautifully. It was fine and dandy. These cables here, you'll see them out here. This cable here, and I have the other one back here. We had to reroute the cables. So where the cables were, they probably would come out the outside, and they came over. I don't know what they come over. Something back there. We had to reroute them, so they went around them, just so I could get a little bit more, or we could get a little bit more reach out of the cables. But I can full turn. Everything works good. There's still a little bit of play in them. So if we did need to get a bit more cable length, we had it. We didn't need it. So yeah, it was great. I'm super pleased. It changes the appearance of the bike. It changes the handling of the bike, which again is good. Oh yeah, look, my tire pressure monitor went off. That's good. I was like, I hope it warms up enough that goes away. And it changes the comfort of your bike. Because for me now, like, one of the big issues too is like I didn't feel like I could get my handlebars in a nice spot like this. Again, I brought them back more, and if you have shorter arms, you're a little shorter. Before they fastened it all up, I'd get them back. You can get them back a little bit more before your controls are in an awkward spot. But I could sit here, feet out here on the thing, resting all the way back, hanging out, living life, enjoying it all. Great purchase. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, Tab Performance. You know what? I always thought they just did exhaust, but no, they do exhaust. They actually sell these windshields, and of course they have their different prison bars. Now they also have, if you're someone that is like smaller, shorter, whatever, has shorter arms, they also have an extended reach handlebar, which is cool, right? So if you are someone that wants the bars back here, so I guess this part of the bar, which extends, would extend back further to get the bars even further back here. So they have those as well, if that's something that you're interested in. All right, anyways, that's enough for me. This says I'm only doing 113. I gotta be able to go faster than that. Speed limit's 110. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys there, and we are going to I'm going for a ride. It's supposed to be like 20 degrees today. Yeah, October 31st. Oh yes, it's Halloween. Hope you guys, if you're doing Halloween-y stuff today, be safe. Keep the kids safe. Have fun with the kids. If you're an adult, you can have fun too. Dress up, do your stuff, enjoy life, and we will see you guys next video. Later, guys.